So the purpose of this video is to show you what to expect and how to set up your Chakra Balance IQube. This is the Chakra Balance IQube. This is the handheld. This is the audio amplifier, and then I'll have the speakers, the subwoofer, and then the SanDisk audio player, power cord, and the converter for the power converter here. That's the first one we'll set up. You can see there's 3 prongs in here. I'm going to put my power cord into this corresponding spot, the female end here. I'll just make sure that's inserted nice and snug. There we go. Plug this other end to power. I have a power strip here. Now you see a blue light turned on. That means it's got some power. I'm going to plug this barrel connector into the back of the audio amplifier now, which is on the right side of this amplifier assembly. You can see that square hole. Just plug your barrel connector right into that spot. Make sure it's secure in there. There we go. And you see a power light came on the front. This blue light indicates you've got power on your amp. If I click that power button, it came on and off. So I've got lights and power on everything. I'm just going to do the jacks on the back. You can see these banana jacks. These banana plugs from the Chakra Balance will go into corresponding colors. You just pick one side and plug it in there. Very good. Now I'm going to plug in my player. On the left side here is the travel charger. And this plug, I'll just plug into power source. There's a red light that comes on, means that you've got power and your player's powering up. So this player, I just want to hit play. Normally yours will play automatically. And I'm just going to set this. I'm going to set this into the player holder. There's a little clip. If you depress that spring, you can set this player into the holder on the amplifier. I'll just slide that in there. Okay, so something about your player, there is a power button on the very top, a little circular button. If you ever need to turn your player on or off, that's the spot where you know how to do it in case your player were ever shut off. On the left side, you can see I'm pressing this. There's a little bar. It's got a plus and minus. The minus will turn the audio volume down, and as I hold down the plus, it'll turn it back up. I want to set this to 90%. If you hold this player at 90% audio volume, that's the perfect volume for your IQube. Not too strong to distort the signal, but strong enough to give you a good clean feed. So out of the right side is this RCA. First, I'm going to connect the RCA audio into the back of the amp. You see the spot on the left. I just matched the colors up and put those in there nice and snug so they fit in there. So that's how I connect the audio source into the amp. Okay. Now, if I look at the Chakra Balance now, I've got lights because I've got the audio source going through the unit. You see a little bit of glow in the 6 LEDs. That means audio is in your Chakra Balance IQube and it is running. So you turn around and you can see the same thing that's happening on the bottom, these 6 LEDs. So as long as these LEDs are going, then your equipment is working. They're going to fade in and out. They're going to change. Sometimes they'll be brighter than other times. But as long as you're seeing lights periodically, you know your Chakra Balance is operational. Now, the last part is the speakers. These speakers have a gray cord that goes in a 2-speaker spot on the subwoofer. I'm going to plug that in there. Now out of the bottom right is where the power connects into the subwoofer. Just grab that and plug that into a power source. Okay. Now you can see the wheel. There's a blue light on that wheel now that I plugged it into power. There's an on and off switch here. In case you're plugged in and don't see any light, you might flip that switch and make sure it's in the on position. It'll power up your speakers. So there's one last cord. It's a green audio cord that I'm going to plug into the splitter of my audio player to the SanDisk. On that right side of the splitter, there's that female connection. This is where we'll plug in this green speaker connector. Get this together with one hand. Okay. All right, so I just got that in there. Make sure those connections are snug. I always double check these connections. Cats and kids can change these things. You want to check on them periodically. Now, if I turn this volume up, you can hear the sound through the speakers. You always want to adjust your audio volume from this black hockey puck wheel. This is the speaker wheel volume. If you change it on anything else, you're going to change the volume into the audio, into the iQube itself, and you want to keep that set. Master volume for the amp about 3 o'clock here. So around 2 or 3 o'clock is perfect. So your amplifier setting. I'll always keep the center silver knob to the right, and keep this leftmost silver knob all the way to the left button out, and then of course keep your power on. That's where you keep your amp settings, and just double check your player. Make sure that's set to about 90%. This should all come preset, but should anything change, you always want to make sure that this is about 90%. That volume can be easy to bump. And that's it. Your Chakra Balance IQube setup is complete. Hopefully this video is informative in where to put your settings, how to set things up, check your connections, and how to adjust your audio sound volume from the wheel. If you have any questions, please contact us and we'll be happy to help.